Hello, welcome back. So now we are starting week 3, week 4 of my back to art journey. And we're just gonna hop right into inspiration stuff for the week because I'm sure that these lessons are gonna have a lot of hands-on stuff. So let's just go. Okay, so as far as books go, I finished reading The Familiar by Leah Bardugo. I did end up liking it. I think I rated it like 4 out of 5. It was pretty nice. Do recommend, not bad. Currently, I'm reading Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the newest Hunger Games book. I read those when they came out, and then in 2020 I reread them as an adult, and they held up. Not bad. I did not like the 4th one, which was the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, or whatever. Not a fan. Thought it was not great. But Sunrise on the Reaping is winning me back over. It's been pretty entertaining. I'm almost done with it. And then I'm also reading Talking at Night by, I believe, Clare Daverly, which seems to be like a sweet, cozy romance. There might be an axe murderer in Act 3 or something that I don't know about, but for now it's nice and sweet. I'll keep you posted. As far as games go, I'm still playing Marvel Rivals. I've also been dabbling in Storyteller, which is a puzzle story game, which has been pretty fun. And then as far as artists go, I've kind of been all over the board because I've been just getting back into consuming art content. And I've really been liking Gretlusky this week. She recently put out a coloring book, I think, and she's been making videos of her like coloring in the cute poppy like head portraits. And her line weight's just really good, and she is really good at making things with a lot of movement to them because her process looks very chaotic, but then it somehow all works out really nice. She's also good at color picking, and all 3 of those things I feel like I could use a little help with, so I've been liking her stuff recently. As far as art school goes, this week I think we're launching into like proportions and anatomy, which is good and needed, but a little intimidating because I've never done any sort of anatomy course ever, so I'm a little scared, but we're gonna do it together and we're gonna see how it goes. So into the art content. We are jumping right into the time lapse this time. So I started doing some studies just in between stuff, and at this point in the course I was feeling very, very discouraged because I had just started looking at art stuff on social media again, and it just felt like everyone was so good. Everyone was so able to pump out like finished pieces all the time. And I was just like doing these studies thinking I could do it too, and then being frustrated, and this week wasn't super great. But toward the end of the week I logged on to the Discord for the art program, and there are channels separated into each term. So I immersed myself in term 1 to kind of see how everyone was doing, and oh my god, it was this was like the turning point, because there were people like me who were kind of just coming back to art and giving it a go. There were people that had never drawn before, and then of course there were people that, you know, had worked very hard and were just kind of brushing up. It was really encouraging to be somewhere where I could be exposed to people on a full skill level spectrum and not just saturated with people that were amazing. And obviously we could not just do art school all the time. I was only averaging about 1 session per week, but I wanted to continue, you know, spending time in nature, getting inspired. Can't just do the grind all the time, and I'm hoping that pans out. So then we jump back in week 4, and we started the proportions thing. So this is like the head is made up of 6 to 7 to 8 heads, and you can use the size of the head to give you an idea of what the proportions are for everything else. So I did this over a couple of references first to kind of give myself a little of a study sesh before trying to draw it on blank paper, because that's terrifying. I didn't actually like how these turned out, so I'm definitely gonna have to try it again. But I think I've only done this exercise once, and I did it in like middle school, so I'm not, you know, give myself some grace. I'm not very surprised that it didn't turn out perfect the first time. So we're gonna have to do this again. It was around this time that I also started kind of feeling like I wasn't doing enough. In making room for the art class, I had made less time for exercise. I had made less time for planning my D&D campaign, that kind of thing. The chores started building up. There was laundry and laundry and laundry and laundry and dishes, and all of that stuff that I had been doing on a pretty decent schedule kind of fell apart a little bit. But that's kind of the nature of the beast. In picking up a new thing that you're committing to, the other things are going to slip a little bit, and it will work out. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself as we head into week 5. Alright, sorry if the audio is garbage. I'm just recording this on my phone. Okay, so we're gonna go through what we drew in week 3 and week 4. So, we started with some face studies, which I recorded a couple of them and then realized that, like, drawing on camera is still kind of uncomfortable. And it didn't really get better after those. So, probably could have just kept doing it. Then, I was thinking about, I had this really pretty true ref image. I'll put it up here, I guess. I don't know. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna just make like a tiefling druid thing with a little familiar. And didn't actually turn out too bad. I actually inked this, which I hate doing. I hate inking things. So that actually is not too bad. And I did the whole skeleton thing and then building on top of it. So obviously the folds need a lot of work, but we haven't gotten to folds yet. So not bad. Then I did more of the like build from the skeleton up to, a full drawing. And I was actually pretty happy with these. And the last time that I did gestures like this was before I started the class. So back like here. And I think that the new ones, can I focus a little bit? I think that the arms are a lot better because like this arm is really wonky looking and like these arms, this arm in particular, real wonky and this feels too long. Like this one actually looks okay, but like I feel like the arms and legs, this is a weird shape. I feel like the arms and legs got considerably better since doing like this arm is actually pretty decent and this arm, like these are pretty and these legs are pretty okay. So I definitely think that the cylinder thing helped a lot. Then I just did some cubes and some cylinders as practice. I feel like cylinders are really easy, but I feel like cubes are really hard for some reason. So that's going to be something I have to keep doing. And then I kept thinking about Scarlet Witch from Marvel Rivals and how she needed to have like a formal gown in the like gala update and she didn't. So I was trying to like put her in a gown and I don't like it that much, but I think I might color this part like digitally because this is like from here that's not bad. It's just the leg part kind of fell apart, but we'll see. I mean, we filled 1, 2, 3, 4. We did something on 5 pages in 2 weeks, so that's not bad. Pretty good. So just like that, we are at the end of week 4. I just learned that if you wave at your phone camera, it will start recording, which is kind of interesting.
Anyway, a little bit of a shorter one this week, but that's okay because if you want to see more, I'll just see you next week. Bye!